from a break, so we won't play a safety break. We'll open the balls up, which hopefully will make it a little bit easier for me to explain what's going on.
Okay.
So this is sometimes we practice this way by playing the break off the back of the cushion and just by opening the balls out a little bit like that. They haven't broke very well, so we'll have to miss the first shot, I think.
You've been a little bit unlucky there, haven't you?
Exactly.
Nothing's fallen for you.
Oh well, never mind. We'll pretend I've played a bad safety shot, so we'll just play that one. Right. Quite straightforward this one, a little stun shot for the black. Nothing on the cue ball, just to stun it into the middle of the pocket, hopefully. We finished a little straighter on the black. Choice of 2 reds, just screw out into the middle of the table. Just screw on and off the cushion. You can fetch the black out, Dougie, if you wish.
I wondered why I was here.
We finished straight on this red, and we can't run through it because we're going to kiss this red, so we're going to try and come out for the blue. Just want it, the white, make sure we don't go in off, so we have to pot it slightly in the middle of the pocket, not in the side. Very nearly went in off this time.
You judged that very well.
Exactly,
yeah.
It was quite close. 2 reds pot in here, so we don't have to do anything with the blue ball. Just hopefully try and roll it in, just dead weight for a choice of 2 reds in the corner pocket. I'll get the blue out, Doug. To make a big break, you always need to really get onto the black, so we'll try and play on the black off here. You can either roll it in dead slow or play what we call a stun run through. I'll roll it in. What we're always trying to do is never ever finish straight on the black. We always try and finish high or low on the black, because if you finish straight, it's quite obvious you can only go forwards or come backwards.
So you're always looking to give yourself an angle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As this red is pottable in here, but because if I went too far I couldn't pot it, I would have to play for 2 reds this time. So I'm going to play a stun run through off the cush, try and finish on that red there, but knowing it, as long as I hit it hard enough, it doesn't matter if I hit it too hard because I've got a choice of other 2 or 3 reds. So it's a little stun run through off the cushion. Because we're dead straight here, I want to get rid of this red to free the red into the corner pocket. So we're just going to roll it in. Always making sure, once again, to finish high on the black, not low. Similar situation here, Dougie. I can either go around the back of this red to finish here, which gives me good value because if I hit it too hard, I've got the red in the middle or this red in the middle. So there's always options, you see. So I'm going to play top and running side. If I played it plain ball, Dougie, the angle would be coming in here. So knowing what the angle is, I've got to make it come wider by playing it with side to bring it out. So a little bit of right-hand side, which helps the cue ball speed up a little bit. We did get a kiss, but it's not a bad kiss this time.
How soon are you thinking about freeing up the pack there? Not too soon, obviously.
With there being 3 or 4 loose reds on, the only time I would consider breaking the pack open if I was low on the black either side. If I was low or high on the black. But at this moment, with having 2 or 3 loose reds, there's no real need to play an opening. I've got completely the wrong angle now to get onto the black. Now it's essential in this situation, even though we have a red in baulk, to finish top side of the blue. So incidentally, sometimes when you see players over-hitting the ball, it's sometimes best to finish like here on the blue, so you've got the brown, rather than here and have to go in and out of baulk.
Right.
So I'm trying to pot the red and just get top side of the blue. See, I've gone too hard, but I don't mind that because I know that the brown's there. So first of all, I have a look at the blue. Not a good angle on the blue. So we're going to play the brown. Problems here, of course, is always missing the colours when you're playing in and out of baulk. Because I have 2 reds that pot into this area here, what I'm going to try and do with the brown is pot it off 2 cushions. I'm almost saying to myself, try and kiss the blue, even though I'm not trying to kiss the blue, because I know that's the angle that I want the cue ball to travel in. So I'm just playing into an area. I'm not playing on a sixpence here. I'm just trying to play into an area. So it's 2 cushions. Not quite hard enough that time. Not quite hard enough, because I actually played to finish somewhere there. But we've still got the red in baulk that's in, you know, always an escape. This time we're going to try and screw up for the blue. It's no good really risking to stun it in for the green, because if you finish dead straight on the green, you're then in trouble.
You're not thinking at all about that red there to take you to come back down for the black?
No, it would be too fine, Dougie. I couldn't hold the cue ball.
Right.
So this time, I don't want to finish high on the blue, because once again I'm going to have to go in and out of baulk, so I'd rather finish low on the blue, knowing that I'm on a baulk colour if I'm not on the blue. So it's a screw shot for the blue. So I finished quite low on it. Slightly lower than I would have liked. Now this is another situation where I play for the choice of reds, and players would play this in a match. Because this red pot's at the bottom of the pack in there, we've also got 2 reds pot in there. Now once the white has travelled, as long as you finish, because the white is coming on this angle, I can finish here, I'm on a red, I can finish here, I'm on a red, I can finish here. So this is how sometimes we play for lots of margin of error. Now as long as I don't make the cannon on the red, the cue ball is coming round the table and I can play the choice of 3 reds. Now watch the cue ball, you see. If it finishes here, it's perfect. Now all of a sudden you get a round of applause in the audience because they think you played for that red.
Very good.
We're actually playing for 3 reds, you
Absolutely.
know. So
yeah.
I have the wrong angle to get onto the black, so once again I want to finish top side of the blue. So it's a forcing stun shot. A natural stun shot would be coming too close to the blue. So I have to hit it just a little bit higher than a stun, but it is harder to make the angle different. So it's just a bit higher than a stun shot. Now if I'd have played the straight ball stun, you see it would have come there.
So now you've got the angle on the
nice
blue
angle
again.
on the blue. Similar situation here, because I know this red already pots in here. I can play for 2 reds again. So I'm just playing off the cushion. Now if I played it plain ball, the white would start coming this way. So I'm actually going to have to pot the blue and play it with what we call check side. You hear us say that on the commentary on television. That means this time it's right hand side, so when the cue ball hits the cushion, it'll actually straighten up rather than go off at the natural angle it comes on.
Got you.
So it's a little bit of check side. Now the cue ball will straighten up, look, you see? And that's just about perfect for the red. If I'd have played it plain ball, the cue ball always comes off at the same angle it goes on. So if you're going onto the cushion at that angle, it'll come off at the same angle.
So
consequently the white would have been here.
Yeah.
So because I played it with check side, it's straightened up. Now I have a perfect angle now, I don't have to worry about anything. All I must make sure is I don't finish straight on the black. I was just having a little look there whether this red was available in here, because that depends on whether I want to finish this side of the black high or this side of the black low.
And what have you decided?
I'm going to finish low here, because if I'm not got a good position just to play to here, I'll play the cannon into the pack. So it's a little stun shot. Now we finished low. Now I've got all sorts of choices. I can run through off the cushion and come here for the red in the middle. If I'm short, I'm on the red in the middle. If I come off the cushion too hard, I'm in the red here. So it's just a roll through on and off the cushion.
How big a danger is it to be thinking too far ahead? I mean, that's a simple, straightforward, straight black.
Yeah.
And that's an easy one to miss, because you're now thinking about where you're going to be for the next red. So is that something you're always aware of?
Yeah. The important thing about break building, Dougie, is to always give yourself an extra chance. When there's only 1 red on, you can only get on 1 red, you have to play for the 1 red. But if you've ever got opportunities of playing for the choice of 2 or 3 reds, especially if you're going for a 1-4-7, early on in a 1-4-7 break, you always play for 2 or 3 reds at a time, because if suddenly you get the wrong side of a red, you have no shot to get back on the black. Whereas if you're playing for 2 or 3, you can't really be the wrong side on all 3 of them. And that's what we do.
Right.
Because I'm a little bit, balls play percentage. I've hit that a little bit too hard, actually. Now the natural angle, if I could play it really dead weight slow, I could actually finish here. But because I don't want to risk missing the red, I'm just going to play around the back of the black. Once again, I don't want to finish straight on the black, so this time I'm going to try and finish low on the black to play the kiss into the reds after the red. So it's 2 shots ahead, this time around the back of the black and leaving a nice angle. So I know that I'm going to push one towards the middle pocket, so I'm trying to hit this one virtually full ball if I can, at pace though, because you don't want to stick to the pack. So I'm pushing them towards the middle pockets. They haven't broken for me very nicely in this department, because we mentioned we're pushing balls towards the middle pocket. We've now only got the choice of 1 red. Now if we just play a normal stun shot, the white's going to cannon into the red. So it's a similar shot to what I played earlier, what we call a forcing stun. A screw shot would come back down here, which would be too close to the black. So my ideal line would just be coming by the red to give me plenty of room. Once again, I don't want to finish straight on the black, so it's a forcing stun to come through the gap here. I'd like to ideally finish low on the black, because automatically these 2 reds now are not available. So I'm now thinking of angles to get onto these 2 reds. So it's a forcing stun. Try and finish low on the black, which I have done here. Now this gives me 2 or 3 opportunities now. This is going to be a problem ball, but I have a nice angle now to either pot the black, come off the cushion and bring this red into play, which is one option. But in a match, say for instance I'm on a break, I would be 50 or 60 in front, I might play that because the game's safe. I know that's always going to be a problem ball. I might not get a nice angle on the black again to play the kiss.
Right.
But as we're trying to make a century break, I'm going to try and play the cannon on this red. Now I'm not going to play it ridiculously hard, because I don't want to all of a sudden have the white down there. So I'm going to play a slow screw cannon that if I just happen to miss the red, because this red's here, you see, the cue ball is going to finish hopefully here if I miss the cannon. But really, in fairness, you know, I shouldn't miss the cannon anyway, so it's a shot that you should get. A natural stun shot, I wouldn't kiss them, so this time I've got to play a little bit lower on the cue ball to play a cannon on the red and hopefully be on the choice of 2 reds. You see? You can see the reason, Dougie, that if I missed the cannon, I didn't play it too hard that the white would have come down here.
Yeah,
I
you've
played
still
it
got
the
options, haven't you?
The strength would have been here if I'd have missed the cannon. I'm
It's
not on this
interesting
red.
too that you're only really thinking a couple of shots in. I once heard
Yeah.
Alex Higgins years ago saying he's thinking 4 or 5 shots ahead.
No, it's,
That's probably just Alex, isn't it? You don't ever think.
In
that
fairness, if
far
you're
off.
on a maximum, sometimes you would think that because you've got to really be precise on every shot. When you're just trying to win a frame or make a century break, 2 shots ahead sometimes plenty.
Yeah.
Similar situation here. Choice of shots here. You can either play the stun on and off the cushion, or you can play the holding shot, which is just not to come off the cushion. Because the angle's just off straight, I'll play the holding shot. Once again, I don't want to finish straight, so I just want to finish just below centre on the black. So just playing forward stun. Just a little bit straight, but this gives me an opportunity now because these 2 reds are not really available into this pocket. This red's going to be my problem ball. This is where you can sometimes pinch the pocket, Dougie, which is sometimes when people are commentating, you get overexcited sometimes because you realise how difficult the shot is. I mean, the natural angle, if I pot this in the centre of the pocket, the cue ball would come back here because it would come off on this line here. So there's no chance of kissing this red. But what you can do is you can bounce them in, play them off the jaw and play it with side. Now, instead of the white hitting here, the white's going to hit about here. And I'm actually playing to cannon this red. Right? Now,
Riskier shot because these are tight pockets.
Exactly.
These are tournament pockets.
The only reason I'm going to play this is because once again I've got this red here. So if I don't get the kiss, because the cue ball's coming at this angle, I know that I'm going to be here anyway. So once again, it's a 2 shot. So I'm going to actually bounce the cue ball in with a lot of left-hand side. Right, see the different angle, playing the kiss. If I'd have missed the kiss, I'd have been here. But because I've got the kiss now, it's turned out okay. Can I just ask you to spot the black for me, Doug, if you
Tell
want?
you what, you're flying now, Will, aren't you? That wasn't a bad old shot.
I'm quite a good player, you know.
I'm impressed.
Anyway, this time, once again, essential, no good finishing this side of the blue because you've got to come inside all the baulk colours. So a stun shot into the middle pocket. Nearly need to finish straight because everything's close up here. So you have to jack the cue up a little bit here. Just a stun shot to finish top side of the blue. That's just about perfect. Choices here. Run through for this red. Screw back for this red. Run through off the cushion for this red. So many choices. But rather than make things difficult, just play this red here. So I'm just going to screw it in 2 or 3 inches. Then I'm going down for the black, you see. So I don't want to finish kind of here. I just want to come back virtually straight. That leaves me with a nice half-ball angle on the red. Different players have different ways of playing this shot. You can either stun down this line here to finish on the black, or you can play a fiercer stun and come down here. In this situation, I always tend to find, going through an angle like this, the only margin of error you've got of being perfect on the black is from about here to here. But playing down this area, the angle you've got of margin of error is a lot bigger. You've got about 18 inches compared to 12 inches. So that's why sometimes it's always best to play in areas. You can't always pinpoint position. So this one's playing a little bit firmer and a stun down the line. I've actually screwed that back, so that's not a good shot. I actually played to finish here. So that's a bad shot. We're now in serious trouble.
But this happens. So, I mean, what do you do now? What's the thought process now?
Well, I've got a just off straight angle on the black. The angle the cue ball is going to hit is here. So the best that I can get the cue ball is coming on this line here. Now the only way I can be on any red now is this red in the middle. That's the only chance I've got. I've got no other chance. I can't finish anywhere else. So what I'm going to try and do is pot the black, come round 2 cushions, try and get the cue ball once again in an area. I'm not trying to... I'd be thinking in my mind now around the pink spot. You have to be cueing very well to get these. So trying to finish around the pink spot area. Once again, not quite hard enough, but you've always got the option of the top pocket when you're playing this kind of shot.
Yeah, but that wasn't bad, though.
That was actually a good pot.
Yeah.
In a match, you would be pleased with potting that one. So it's a stun run through just to try and finish top side of the blue. I haven't really got the run through there, so this is why sometimes on commentary we say, well, that's not really a good shot, he wanted to finish top side of the blue. The reason I always want to finish top side, with the pink and green being where they are, the natural angle to come down for this red, I'd really like the cue ball to come through this gap here with side because it gives me lots of margin of error. Once you've left this cushion, I've got from here to like 7 feet of position. Because I can't play through that gap, I've got to go through this gap. And all of a sudden now, because you're coming in this way, where's your margin of error now? You've got from about here to here to have an easy shot, all of a sudden here's a difficult shot, here's a difficult shot. So this is the reason if that pink wasn't there, such an easy shot to get onto that red.
That's interesting.
It's now a hard shot.
Huge difference in the
margin of error is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I have about 2 or 3 feet to finish good position.
Yeah.
This way round, I've got 10 feet to finish good. Not quite enough side. Be a nice kiss. Oh, that was a Stephen Hendry kiss, wasn't it, that one? They only happen to Hendry, those.
Every decent break needs a bit of luck somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah. Perhaps the only problem is I finished a little bit closer to the red I would have liked. I'm somehow trying, because I don't want to risk playing a push shot. Say, for instance, this stage I was on something like 110 or something, 35 left, but I can't get on the black. Don't want to risk playing any foul shots. I would probably even leave myself a long blue. So I'll just try and jack up a little bit to make sure I don't play a push shot and try and pop the blue like that. That's fine. Problem ball now automatically is the green. With the pink being where it is, the problem ball is getting onto the green. So it's no good at all me finishing straight on the yellow, because there's nowhere I can go to get on the green. So it's essential after potting the blue, I've now got to look for a half ball angle on the yellow. I've either got to finish top side half ball to come this way round, or this side half ball to come off the cushion and come over here. So this is once again we're having to finish 2 shots, or think 2 shots in advance.
2 shots ahead.
So because of the angle on the blue, I can't finish low enough on the yellow because I'll be too near the cushion. So I'm going to have to play a little stun run through and probably leave myself needing the rest, unfortunately, but it's the only way I can get from yellow to green. So I'm just going to try and leave the cue ball somewhere here, and I'm going to have to get the rest out. That's fine.
Yep.
I had no option there but to leave myself a risky shot. I can just about reach it being a tall lad. Unfortunately, I now have the wrong angle on the yellow. What I tried to do is probably leave it here somewhere so I could just play the stun off the cushion and come over here. The green's only available quite obviously in that pocket or one of the middle pockets. Now because I haven't got a good angle on the yellow, once again if I was in a match trying to make sure I was setting a target for the highest break, I want to make sure I try and clear up. So I'd risk actually just potting the yellow and just bringing the cue ball somewhere around here to have a pot at the green in the middle pocket, or if I hit it too hard I've got the green in the top pocket.
Yep.
So in this situation you can't afford not to have a shot to complete the break. So I'd have to stretch over the table, try and stun the yellow in. That's just about nice.
Yeah, not bad at all there.
We have a problem once again now though, Dougie, with the brown. Let's just have a little look whether... That pink's been a problem ball all this frame.
It's been there for about 15 minutes now.
Exactly. Couldn't you have moved it when I wasn't watching? Let's just have a look whether we can get high on the brown. If we could finish about here, we can see the brown. So if I go at an angle where I'm not going to finish near the cushion, which I have, so I'm going to run the green in and try and hopefully finish somewhere about that chalk mark there, because I know then that I can see the brown. Now this is a tough one, but if you've got to something like 115, 120 points at this stuff, sorry, 115, to have too many, you would be queuing well enough to be able to pot this, but this one's a little bit tough, but just try and get the angle as well. Oh, that's okay, that's okay. Once again, I've just made sure I've come high enough. I'd rather finish here at this stage. Say, for instance, this was a 147 situation. There's no way you can risk finishing here.
No.
You'd rather finish here.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, you overhit it.
Yeah.
Any sort of shot I can play on the brown here. I can either run through off the cushion and come this side for the blue. Once again, because the pink's here, I could do with finishing top side of the blue.
Right.
Under pressure, sometimes when you're playing a run through, sometimes you can kind of tweak yourself, or twitch as we call it. So most players, when they're under pressure, prefer to stun a ball because they feel like they've got more chance of going through straight. So most players in this situation, rather than play the plain ball shot, which once again, this is where margin of error comes in a lot of times. If you play plain ball, the cue ball's coming off the cushion here and coming up here. Now, to finish perfect on the blue, you've got from about here to finish perfect, right? If you play the stun round 2 cushions, once it's left this cushion, you've got all the top pocket, but what you're trying to do is finish in here. So you've actually got from about here to about here to finish perfect. So margin of error gives me the chance of playing a stun shot. Just going to try and play around 2 cushions. I'm going to try and finish high on the blue, so it's easy for the pink. But if you finish low, you're going to have to play a difficult shot. So not really, just a little bit aside. That's not hard enough. That's a bad shot. But talking about margin of error, if I'd have played it plain ball up here and finished, say, here, I'd have had no shot.
Yeah, at least you've still got a chance here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with the pinks being where it is, if I pot the blue with no side, it would just hit the cushion and the cue ball is going to come down this line here, which once again is no good. So this is another one of those check side shots. When it hits the cushion, I want it to straighten up, come up this line here so I can get my hand on the table. It's essential when you're break building always to try and get your hand on the table. So a lot of left-hand side just to try and pop the blue. Watch the cue ball straighten up.
There's a check side, just holding it straight.
Yeah. If I hadn't had the check side, I'd have been like on this line here. Then pink to black is virtually impossible. Once again, players have different ways of playing this. There's 2 or 3 shots I can play here. I can play the screw shot to come off the cushion in for the black here. I can play the stun shot off one cushion to come here. Or you can play twice across to come here. Now this is just player's preference. If I was in a match in this situation, I'd play the one cushion with side, because once again I'd be playing margin of error all the time.
So there's no safer shot? There's
no safer
just
shot.
Personal preference?
I tend to think, because I know that I'm not going to hit it weak enough to finish here, I'm more likely to finish here, but I've still got a shot on the black. Whereas if you decide to screw it in, once you've got from there to there, but say all of a sudden you finish here, it's no good. So once again, it's just where you've been brought up, the way you practice, the way you see the margin of error and things like that.
The shots you like.
Exactly. So it's a stun off the cushion, a little bit of right-hand side to make the ball speed up a bit. Because sometimes if you play plain ball, in this particular situation, you might underhit the pink. So now we're on, say, 134 in a maximum, and this is really exciting. So I've actually got to play with a lot of side to come up the table. So it's a stun shot with a little bit of side to help the cue ball run. Now watch the cue ball speed up, you see? So it kind of took off the cushion, it speeded up. Now if I'd played that plain ball, the angle would have been here. So what I would have to do if I played it plain ball is play a little bit higher up the cushion. But because I played with side, I could hit lower up the cushion. This is the difference when you play with side or without side.
And now you've got
this is
this
the black
for the 147. Go on then.
Well, it's for the 100, isn't it? I put in a couple of pinks and blues and things.
Very good, Will.
Why don't I play like this on television?
I'll tell you what always amazes me, and it's a statement of the obvious, but it's the absolute certainty that you know where that cue ball is going. And that only comes through years and years of experience and practice. But you're never in any doubt, I don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah, I think the difference is with the older players, they tend to be a little bit more careful with their position. The fact that the younger players now are such fantastic potters, their sometimes margin of error is probably a lot bigger than mine because they're better potters than we were.
Yeah.
So this is just the progression of the game. They've just got better and better. You know, in and around the black spot, I can still compete at the top level. But unfortunately now I don't knock the long ones in anymore. And sometimes I try and be too precise, and these young lads are just so good now, you have to be so very careful. But the art of break building, as I said, is not necessarily finishing on one ball at a time. Margin of error, sometimes playing for 2 or 3 shots at a time. People at home would think we're just playing for one ball at a time.
Fascinating. It really has been. Enjoyed that, Will.
Thanks, Dougie.
Well done.